Hello and welcome to Project Hospital. This is a brand new series on the channel, and if you are wondering why and what happened to Treetop Health, we will get into that during the first time lapse. But I don't want to waste any time, so we're going to start a brand new game. We're going to go for Sandbox in the largest empty field we can find. Patients can die. Everything else is set to default, and we are going to load this up. Now, the one major change that I have made is the fact that patient payouts are now at 300% as opposed to 100%, and we did that through the Tweakables file. I will go through all of the details on how to change that file at the end of the video, but like I said, I want to get straight into this. So, the first thing we need to do is plan out our hospital. I have a basic idea. It's going to be a similar layout to Treetop Health, but instead of having the one singular entrance, we are going to have a specialized entrance for the trauma center, and I think that is going to be good. Now, as for the hospital name, we have come up with Blackcomb Medical, and you should be seeing that on your screen right about now. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the time lapse. I am going to plan this out a little bit and tell you about why and how this series is going to differ from Treetop Health. So we'll be back in a little bit. I was having so much fun with Treetop Health. The problem I was having is that as you add more departments to your hospital, your profits don't go up. Basically, what happens in this game, as you add more patients to your hospital, they get split evenly amongst your departments, and you have to do a lot of micromanaging to make sure that you have enough staff in each department while still making money. And that grind for me with this series was just a little bit too low. So I went into the Tweakables file. I increased our insurance companies to 8. I increased our patient payouts to 300%. I also increased max floors to 10, and we enabled patients to be able to leave the hospital once they are cured 24/7. So they can leave at midnight if they want to, they can leave at 8 a.m. if they want to. We did also remove a couple of the department mods that were a little bit buggy, namely urology and nephrology, Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics, Plastic Surgery Department, and I also removed the 6 insurance companies mod because I changed that myself in the Tweakables file. So at the end of the video, I will have a little segment dedicated to how to change the Tweakable file for yourself if that is something you're interested in. But otherwise, we are going to get on with building this hospital. We will pause here just in case you are following along. This is going to be my general floor plan for the ground floor. We're going to have our trauma center over here. We'll have a pharmacy in here, on-call officers here, and we'll have our general observation around here somewhere. If you're wondering about dimensions here, this is almost centered. We can't get it quite centered, but it is... This main walkway is 38 from this side and 39 from this side. So that is where that is. We have a 2-width border around the whole thing. Of course, these hallways are 4 by whatever. This first one is 4 by 61, and these ones are 4 by 79. And then we have restrooms denoting where our elevators are going to be, just because the elevators do actually cut into the hallway, so I figured it would be easier to use restrooms for that. And then we'll have 2 by 3 restrooms going up the center of the hospital. Thinking we'll have a pharmacy here and our general doctors' emergency offices down here. But just in case you're playing along, that is what's happening. We also have the ambulance bay 2 tiles from the pedestrian walkway, and we are going to have the entrance to the trauma bay down in this area. This just fits in nicely there, and that is about it. So I'm going to continue on with the planning here, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, I think this is going to be my starting layer. And for those playing at home, our pharmacy is 12 deep and 9 sort of high with this little cutout in the corner. We have our cleaning closets that are 6x4. We have a little administrative office that is 6x5. Our reception 8x6. Waiting room 8x7. A restroom here 8x6. Break room is 8x6 as well. I considered putting a cafeteria in here as well for our staff, but I think I'm going to hold off on that and potentially do like a little outside garden for this area with some nice windows looking into our corridors. We have 2 more cleaning closets, 6x4 and 6x4. I don't know if these will both belong to our emergency department or if one will change later on. Our doctor's offices are 6x6. These hallways are only 3 wide, but everywhere else they are 4 wide. That seems to be fine for right now. And yeah, we are going to go ahead and start building this out. I think I'm going to add some columns to the outside of this little area here as well down the line. We probably won't do that just yet because we are still a little bit restricted on our cash. We probably will go ahead and take out like $100,000 loan. We should get most of that back by the time we've finished our first day and completed some insurance objectives. But little tip, if you have not played the game before, build your pharmacy as soon as you can. When you prescribe your patients with medications, they will go to your pharmacy, purchase those, and give you a little bit of extra cash flow. The janitor for that is probably not strictly necessary, and these janitor rooms are larger than they need to be, but I like to have them that way. So we are going to jump into some building. We'll lay out the floor plan, get some walls down, things like that first, and then we'll move on to furnishing each of these rooms. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I believe all of our walls are painted. We're going for this sleek black on the outside this time and this darker color wood for the inside with the same sort of pattern on our floors. Now, I haven't done the inside of the elevator shafts because they are going to be inaccessible for the moment, and that should be a-okay. We also haven't enclosed our reception or our waiting area, but that should be okay. Next step, throw in some doors and start furnishing this bad boy. So we're going to go ahead and plop some doors wherever we need them. And then we will start furnishing each room one by one. Quickly before I do that though, a little tip if you are building your walls. So when you build a wall, and it's not going to let me do it outside, but when you build a wall, this is the brick wall. Only the way that you're facing is painted. So the backside is not painted. Rotating your camera is with the square bracket keys. If you want to do a room that is painted on the inside only, you can go ahead and use this square tool down here. And you'll notice here, I don't know if I'll be able to show it very well, but you can see the brick pattern is on the inside and it's on the inside all the way around. So that is a little tip if you are building. It takes a little bit of forethought to plan out where you want your different wall textures to be, but that is a little tip that I have for you guys. Next up, we're going to move on to doors and furnishing, so we'll be back in a little bit. All right, I think our hospital is coming together quite nicely. We are down to $25,000, but I'm not too concerned about that at all. The next thing we need to do is go ahead and just copy these over. In case you are curious how to do that, just jump into your build menu, over to prefabs, hit copy, create a prefab, select the area you want to copy, and then just go ahead and place it down. I did have to build this room twice because our doors are not on the same entrance point for both of them, but that is not a problem. We have $5,000 left. We have 6 officers. That should do us for the moment. We are going to need to take out a little bit more of a loan though, just in order to create our own staff member. And the reason we want to do that is because one of the objectives down here is Oopsie Corp. Create 1 doctor with character editor in hiring card. We're going to do that right off the bat because the earlier you get that done, the easier it is. And I'll explain that a little bit more as we go. The next step is to go ahead and, well, actually designate these corridors to the emergency department itself because currently they are not designated. So I think we will probably have this entrance area actually be assigned to the administrative department because we do have 2 bathrooms down here just in case anyone needs to use them. And then the rest of this corridor here will be all designated to the emergency department cleaning staff. If you're curious how I'm managing to get this odd shape with just the 1 corridor, if you drag this out, it will create a split. But if you start that selection in the existing corridor already, it will go ahead and just add it to that selection. So that is all good. Everything here is colored, which means it's designated to the emergency department, and everything over here is designated to the administrative department. Let's start out with, actually, I said everything was designated to the correct area, but this is actually not. It was designated somewhere else. So that allows us to hire staff there. We are going to start with reception, and we are only going to start with day shift because we have no reason to be open at night. And because we currently have the 3 times payouts, I am going to hire the best staff that we possibly can. It's going to make our lives easier. It's going to make for better diagnosis, quicker diagnosis, and quicker treatment. So what we are looking for here is someone with the high receptionist skill. Ideally, they don't cost too much money. If we go ahead and reveal hidden perks, we can see what their deal is. Mary Martin here might be a fantastic candidate. She has 41% in reception, which is pretty good. She's an early bird, which means she's going to work more efficiently during the day. She has resistance, so rest levels decrease slower, and she is loyal, so she takes a 20% less salary when leveling up. That one's not as important because she is already fully leveled up, but Mary Martin, you're officially the first employee of our hospital. Welcome to the team. We're just going to stick with the 1 receptionist for now. I think that will be absolutely fine. We will go ahead and hire 6 doctors though. This first doctor, we are going to go ahead and create our own character. Just like I said for that Oopsie Corp insurance, this is going to be me. This will be Chubby Panda. Perfect. We are going to make them male. That obviously changed their name. We are 30. So let's go ahead and throw that in. We do have a beard. Close enough, honestly. If we can get some glasses on there, that'll do. We probably aren't quite that white, but we're also not that dark. Let's go for around there. And then we will go ahead and rename them to Chubby Panda. First doctor in. What perks should we choose here? Early bird is particularly good. Fast learner is also fantastic, especially considering we are creating an intern here. Scholar I haven't found to be all that useful. Diagnostic genius is probably good, and practical diagnosis is also fantastic. I think I might go for both of those. Extra talent for diagnosis, and you know what? Let's go for, let's do it. Practical diagnosis as well. What is our negative perk? There are a couple in here that aren't really too bad. Hard worker is not terrible. It will decrease their mood over time. Dirty feet you can just counter by having more janitors. Germaphobe, they wash their hands. They're a little bit slower in general. I like to stay away from depressed and unpleasant. Those are both just not good at all. Fresh parent, rest levels decrease faster. Slow probably isn't too bad for a doctor. We've got fast metabolism, hunger increases faster. Slow learner, I don't really like having. I think we're honestly just going to go for long commute. They can be late sometimes. It is what it is. That will bring this up. Insurance company can be contracted. We will go ahead and do that in a minute. And we are now accepting patients. But we need to go ahead and hire, I'm going to say 5 more doctors. I think that will cover us for the start here. And like I said, we're going to hire the best doctors we possibly can. And I'm going to give them all advanced diagnosis. This is going to increase our cost quite a lot. But in the long run, I think it's going to be worth doing. I'm not super fond of many of these people, although Jane Johnson isn't terrible. She has clean feet and resistance. Welcome in. This is going to be, if we're going to rename them here, this is going to be a reefing medic. I wish tab worked in that, but it doesn't. This is going to be a reefing medic. I hope you don't mind it being female. It sort of is what it is. These are our Golden Panda members. So if you're interested in getting your name in the hospital, go ahead and sign up to our membership at the Golden Panda member level, and you will get your name in the game. Who have we got here? Paul Young doesn't look too bad. He's got 47% in advanced diagnosis. He's not too expensive. He also has practical diagnosis and hard worker. Paul Young, you are in, and you will be renamed to Sunset Kumar. Welcome to the team. Thank you for being a member. Next up, who have we got here? I didn't really like the look of any of these guys, so we'll go ahead and shuffle that out. We have a good boss here, which we definitely need. They are $660 though. And they only have 10% in advanced diagnosis. I think we'll skip out on them for the moment. And instead, we might take Peter Martin, who is going to be renamed to Hilarious Echo. Welcome to the team. Thank you for being a member. And our final member is going to be, let's have a look here. We have Good Boss, 660. That's the one I was just looking at. Let's shuffle and have another look here. They have unpleasant, which is unfortunate. No one else here has the good leader skill. I would like to make this person a leader if I can. Let's shuffle one more time and have a look here. Dana Wilson, 41% advanced diagnosis, $447. You are in, and you are going to be renamed to Anders Osthus. Welcome to the team, and thank you for being a member. We're going to hire one more person, but we aren't going to rename them. Let's have a look who we have. We have Diagnostic Genius, 6%. That'll probably do. You do have dirty feet. Not the biggest deal in the world. Although Kate Scott might actually be better. Hardworking and resistance with 18% in advanced diagnosis. Welcome to the team. So that is 6 doctors hired, 1 receptionist. We now need to move on to our cleaning staff. And I am not going to really worry too much about these guys' traits. Although, in saying that, we have Early Bird, Fast, and Fast Learner over here on Jennifer King with really high stats. So you are going to be our cleaner for the moment. We just need the 1 for now, and that should be fine. Then we'll move over to our administrative department. Go ahead and hire ourselves a pharmacist. We are looking for someone pretty good here. Go ahead and reveal their perks. Looks like Robert Cole might be it. He is $359 a day, but he's going to make that back, so we're not too concerned about that. And we might be able to hire less pharmacists as a result. We're going to need a cleaner here as well. I don't really care if they're not as good. We have John Williams here, who is honestly pretty good. Fast is a fantastic trait to have on your cleaners. We could also potentially go for Joseph Allen over here. Fast and resistance. He is a lot cheaper, so we'll do that. He is our manager. Sorry, I thought we were hiring a janitor. How do you do at managing? 13%? Yeah, you'll do. You'll do. And then we'll go ahead and hire a janitor for this department as well. Looking at these guys, we have a scholar. Yeah, not really interested in any of them. We'll go ahead and refresh. anyone decent? Yeah, I mean, we're going to pay $237 for William Robinson here because he has fast and resistance. He does have germaphobe, but it's not too bad. And that is officially everyone hired. If we jump back into play mode, you can see our hospital is coming along quite nicely. We do need to do one last thing, and that is add in some windows to our doctor's offices where we can. I won't add windows to these rooms just yet because I imagine we will have hospital behind them. Pharmacy has a couple of windows. We have a couple of windows in our corridors as well. So let's see where we can put in some windows. I like to use these tall windows for the doctor's offices just because you can't see through them. So that's probably a benefit. Let's go ahead and add... oh, we're broke. Let's take out a little bit more of a loan to buy some windows. And I'm going to add windows in there, there. That one, yeah, let's do it. There and there. And we might even add one in on either side here. I think that will be fine. We're not going to have windows on all of our doctor's offices just because they aren't all facing... that's the wrong way. They aren't all facing the outside, but some of them are, so the ones that are can have a nice view of the outside, and that should be good to go. I'm not going to worry about adding them to the cleaning closet. I feel like no one really spends that much time in there, and I don't think it's worth it. That is our hospital, and we are ready to get started. Before we do that, though, we do need to go ahead and say, Oopsie Corp, please start sending us patients. And we need to go into doctor mode and add all of our doctors to controlled doctors. We might not be able to do that. Oh, there we go. I was just in the wrong department. Briefing Medic, Sunset Puma, Valarius, Anders, and Kate Scott. That is all of our doctors. We are going to go ahead and reach controlled doctor rating of 80%. If we have a look at some of our doctors here, they are all currently at 50%, but as soon as we get some positive diagnoses, we should see that number start to go up. So without further ado, let's start the game. We are going to be in the red for a little bit here, but that is fine. We are just waiting for our first patients to arrive. And that shouldn't take very long at all. I believe that is our first patient now. We have Barbara Adams is waiting. She should go ahead and be sent to talk to the receptionist here in a second. I don't know why she isn't. Apparently someone was in front of her in line. And Christopher Taylor is our first patient here. Let's just arrange this a little bit better. We get a nice easy first case. He's just coming in for a COVID vaccine. We can go ahead and schedule that up. Give him that vaccine. Hit enter to close this dialogue and continue the game and send him home. Easy. We've got our first objective complete. Treat 1 patient per day at emergency. That gives us $20,000 in the bank. We also reached controlled doctor rating of 80% because it was the first thing we ever did. That will give us 500 experience points for all player created characters. And our next job is to correctly diagnose patients of controlled doctors in intern mode. Now, intern mode is based on this. This little symbol up here is how you change that. Intern mode is when you have 1 turned on. Resident mode is when you have 2. And specialist mode is when you have all 3. So for the moment, we're just going to disable pulsing hidden symptoms. And that will allow us to correctly diagnose 10 patients in intern mode. We have someone here. They either have laryngitis or acute rheumatic fever. If you go ahead and open the diagnosis table, a little tongue-tied there, you can see what all of the symptoms of those specific diseases are. But more usefully right now is the fact that it shows you which department they would be sent to. You can see for laryngitis, they would be sent to emergency. And for this one, they would be sent to cardiology. Now, this is a little bit of an exploit in the game. Use it if you want. Don't use it if you don't want to. I am going to use it just to make this go a little bit quicker. But because we don't have a cardiology department, we know that it can't be this. The game will never send you a patient with something that you can't, or that you don't have the department for. So we know that this is laryngitis. We can go ahead and give them all of the things. The reason that we don't just give them antibiotics is because they will go to your pharmacy and buy the other things. It will also treat some of their symptoms and make them happier overall. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get 10 of these done in a quick little time lapse, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, I said I was going to get 10 of these done, but we actually have a new insurance company that we can contract. So let's have a look here. That allows us to get uninsured patients in, and the only objective there is to treat 10 patients per day. We should be able to get that done relatively quickly, so we'll continue on. All right, we actually have our first case that we can't immediately diagnose. We know that this is either chronic fatigue syndrome or insomnia. And if you go ahead and hover over the symptoms that it could potentially be, it will give you some clues as to what to test for. So if we want to test for a sore throat, we will do an oral cavity inspection. If we want to test for muscle and joint pain, that's a physical, and so on and so forth. And you can compare the two that it could possibly be and go ahead and order tests based on that. So it looks like speech listening and physical examination are probably the best bet here. Go ahead and do that, and immediately we know that it is insomnia. Go ahead and get them their treatment and move on to the next patient. And that is 10 doctors treated. That gives us a $50,000 government grant. Our next job is to treat patients of controlled doctors in intern mode 20 times. So that is more than just diagnosing what is wrong with them. You have to give them their treatments, send them home, and they will get better, and that will tick up this number. So we're going to speed through that as well, and we'll be back once that has completed. I imagine we'll also get 10 patients per day in that, but we will skip over that one. Okay, we have our first kind of dumb patient. This guy has either a leg contusion or a chest contusion. We can't determine which it is with the tests that we currently have at the moment. We can do chest or auscultation, but that doesn't really help us. A physical examination didn't tell us which one it is, whether it was his leg or his chest. He just couldn't tell us where it hurt. This is somewhat realistic. Some patients are just a little bit silly like that. But this guy is going to need an x-ray. We currently don't have an x-ray set up, and I'm not quite ready to set one up for him. Let's have a look at what the treatment is for both. So a leg contusion is numbing ointment. A chest contusion is numbing ointment. So we're going to treat it. I don't know if this is going to reset it to 0 if we get this wrong, but we're going to go ahead and say, I think it is your chest. If it's not, if I was this guy's doctor, I would say rub this on both your chest and your leg and you'll be fine. So I'm not sure if this is going to reset to 0, but if we got this wrong, that could happen, although we are still treating both symptoms. So let's just see what happens once we send this guy home. I'm not sure which one it is going to be. You can see, although we are already back up to $200,000, we got so many grants done today, mostly just in treating patients, and that is fantastic. This guy has no idea what's wrong with him. That's fine. So we are slowly but surely making money. This guy is about to go home. This is the guy who we weren't sure if it was leg or chest, and it's gone up. So we apparently either got that right, or because the treatments are the same, it counted. So that is fantastic. We don't have to build an x-ray room just yet. I think we are almost out of patients for the day. We're up to 24 out of 30, but we might not actually get all 30 because that number has been going up throughout the day. I have a feeling that might have been our last patient, but we'll double check and we'll come back once the day is officially over and our doctors are going home. All right, it is 6 o'clock at night. day shift is still running, but our clinic is shut to new patients. If we jump into our patients here, we can see that we currently have none. We're not going to get any more for the day. We ended the day with $202,000. We still do have to pay our staff, but we can go ahead and pay back all of the loan that we took out to get this up and running. And I believe that's going to mean we aren't paying interest, because I believe you pay interest at midnight. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that to be the case. We got 4 objectives done for uninsured. This is mostly just treat X number of patients per day. They are now sending us 10 patients per day. Chibo Care wants us to open a radiology clinic. That will happen very, very soon. And we've done 3 for Oopsie Corp. They are sending us 10, and we've got 3 more patients to treat before we get to the next one there. I think this is a fantastic point to end the episode. So we'll go ahead and jump into how to go ahead and edit that Tweakables file if you're interested. But if you're not, then leave a comment for the sake of engagement. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more of this series. And I'll see you in a little bit to discuss that Tweakables file. All right, welcome to the little bonus segment at the end of the video where I show you how to change your Tweakables file, if that is something you want to do and you want to play along. So you're going to open up Steam, find Project Hospital, manage, and browse local files. That will bring up your Project Hospital folder. If you're not playing on Steam, just find this folder somewhere on your computer. You're going to want to go into Project Hospital data, into streaming assets, and into database. Scroll all the way down until you find Tweakables and open that up in Notepad, or in my case, Notepad++. That will open up this file. Now, I've modified a few things here. This is my little notepad of what I have modified. These are the mods that we disabled and turned off. So urology and nephrology, Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics, Plastic Surgery Department, and 6 insurance companies. And this is what I edited in the normal Tweakables file, the one that we just showed you how to do. So we're looking for max floors, max insurance, release start, release end, and patient payment. I'll go ahead and show you where they are. So if we have a look through here, you'll have somewhere along here somewhere, we will have max floors is Tweakables max floors. I just changed this to 10. If you want to change your camera, by the way, you can change these values here. You'll be able to zoom in more or less. So that is something to note as well. We have patient leave time. That is the wrong one. That's not the one I was looking for. Ignore that one. We are looking for, here we go, release start and release end. I changed these from 0 to 0 and 24. They were 18 and 1800, I believe, so they could leave between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. So I just changed this so it's all day long, 24/7. They can leave whenever they want to. We scroll down a little bit more. We should see, I think it's towards the bottom. Yep. Tweakable payments percent, and I changed this to 300%. You could change this to whatever you want. By default, it is at 100. And then there is a departments one in here somewhere as well, but I can't remember where that is. It's in here somewhere. Just have a look through. You are looking for something to do with max insurance. But I can go ahead and show you that. If we jump back into our Project Hospital files, and we go into, where was it? Data, and then into resource. Nope. Streaming assets. Add-ons? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So jump into Project Hospital data, streaming assets, add-ons, and then you'll see DLCL doctor mode, hospital services, infectious diseases, and traumatology. Obviously, these won't be there if you don't have the DLC. But if we go into each one of these and then into database, these all have their own Tweakables file as well. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is necessary. The doctor's one doesn't actually have anything that we need. So I'll move over to the hospital services one here. But if we go into the Tweakables here, this also has somewhere in here is, yeah, max floors is at 10 there. And we also have, it might not be in this one. Was it in this one? I can find out. No, it wasn't. So if we go into infectious diseases, add-ons, infectious disease, database, and Tweakables, You can see here we have max floors again. So I changed this for all of them. And then we also have Tweakable max insurance companies. This will be the same in this file. If we go ahead and search, we can just search for insurance and we should be able to find it. There we go. So that is what you're looking for. And I went ahead and changed that in the DLC folders as well. I'm not 100% sure how necessary that was, but that is something that I did. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys for hanging out to the end. And until next time, bye guys. Wait, no, sorry. Until next time, happy building, happy doctoring. Bye guys.